Emerging to a seasons of wars and rumors of war. And the word rumor in the Greek is not just rumor, false, fake news. The word rumor in the Greek is echoes of war. We're hearing echoes of war all over the world. But how many must know new challenges means new resources and new opportunities despite the tough situation. 2 Kings chapter 4, we see a situation where even a very dire, impossible, miserable situation where God gave that supernatural provision. 2 Kings chapter 4.
The wife of a man from the company of the prophets cried out to Elisha, "Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that he revered the Lord. But now his creditor is coming to take my 2 boys as his slaves."
What a situation to go through. I hope none of you will have to go through this. There was a widow, lost a husband, and the son's got to be sold as slave to pay for debts or whatever the reason. And it was a real desperate situation. How many of you are feeling like that? You feel so desperate, you feel so miserable, you feel so overwhelmed. Let me tell you this. When you are down to nothing, God is up to something big in your life. Get ready for a miracle. Today I'm going to share on the ingredients of a miracle. I prepared this message on the way here in the plane. When you're facing impossible situation, unattainable, like having to deal with the wall of Jericho, the Bible tells us it's so tightly shut walls. Bibles know the walls will crumble. Maybe you're faced with an incredible situation. The doctors say, you got to live with this for the rest of your life. There was a man that was lame for 38 years. It's too long. It's almost like when you're having that condition for too long, you feel you'll never get out of it. Hey, how many must know you're going to experience miracle today? Maybe you're feeling so helpless, immobile, like the man that was lame since birth. But you're going to experience like the miracle of being let down the roof. Today I want to touch on the ingredients of a miracle. Like, remember the COVID situation? During the time we prepared a YouTube video on clay pot chicken rice. You recall what are the ingredients? You need to have good Chinese sausage. You need a good oyster sauce. You need to have a nice, beautiful pot, if possible, covered with, I use the Hyderabadi style cooking biryani with the clay pot chicken, put dough on it. And man, it was so lovely, all right? I hope you enjoy. And you get a YouTube video. What are the ingredients there? You need to have good sausages. You need to have good oyster sauce and good pot and sealed to retain all the moisture. Today I'm going to share with you on the ingredients of a miracle. Number 1, God loves to use whatever you have. 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 2.
Elisha replied to her, "How can I help you? Tell me, what do you have in your house?" "Your servant has nothing there at all," she said.
And the prophet asked, I continue.
"Except a little oil."
"I have nothing but just a little oil." Elisha the prophet asked, "What do you have?" I can imagine if I'm there, I would say, "You blind now? You can't see. You're a prophet. You don't know? One of your students died, left behind, big debt, and the wife got to pay. Even sell off the kids. You have no eye to see." I believe that the prophet was challenging her to see, what do you have? Because God loves to multiply what little that you have. Maybe that church, our church 15 years ago, we were small. We don't have what it takes. We took that step of faith, trusting in your giving. And we gave to that church, and today we see an amazing impact. God multiplies what little we have. He created this world of nothing. Let there be earth. And there was. But when he created man, you and me, he created out of dust. When he created Eve, beautiful, delicate out of the lips, he loved to use something in us. Something there which you feel too little. God said to Moses, would you go and tell Pharaoh, let my people go? Moses asked, I don't have nothing. God said, what do you have? Moses looked around, left, right. Nothing. Smelly shepherd's rod. God didn't give him a new rod. Your rod useless. Here is a rod made in South Africa, strewed with diamonds, precious stones. With this rod, you're going to impress Pharaoh. God said, what do you have? Smelly, dirty, used second-hand rods. And with that rod, Moses brought Pharaoh to his knees. Divided the Red Sea, bring water out of the rock. Impossible situation. What do you have? 6 jars, empty jars, fill it with water. God could have produced wine out of the air, but God chose to produce something out of the ordinary. What do you have? Nothing, God, nothing. God said, what do you have? Oh, the other church got more talent. The other family, they got better connection. What do you have? Just give it to him. So the first ingredient, let God use what you have. Number 2, second important ingredient, looking for empty jars or vessels. 2 Kings 4:3.
Elisha said, go around and ask all your neighbors for empty jars. Don't ask for just a few.
Go looking for empty jars. How many of you feel today you're like empty jars? I feel many times. I'm empty. Preaching for 40 years. All the illustration you have heard. All the points you can preach better. I feel sometimes in preparing a message, when I'm down to nothing, God just brings something. I don't have resources, I don't have the talents, but when you feel yourself empty, you just become God's candidate for a miracle. Like, if Lois were to ask you, would you try leading song or backup singers? You say, oh, Loisa, ayo, now only you recognize my talent. Okay, never mind, better late than never. I think you could be not so good candidate for song leading. But if Lois asks you, would you do a backup singing? Lois, I love to sing. I enjoy singing. But if you can get a better one, I think, I don't mind doing it. You felt the Lord leads you. I'll be happy to. But I need you to give me all the feedback. I felt like empty. I don't have what it takes. I need all the feedbacks that you can give me to improve myself. You become a candidate for miracle because you're an empty vessel. I remember when I was in Bible college there, we have a class called homiletics, the art and science of preaching. You know what? Our professor will videotape. We're supposed to do an 1 hour sermon, reduce it to 15 minutes. And it was recorded. My professor will sit down with me, telling me, this is wrong diction, this is wrong interpretation, this you didn't check with the Greek and Hebrew dictionary. And then my fellow classmate will give all the comments. But you know what? I always treasure those comments because I know the only way to improve is to be in an empty vessel. Not to be inflated with self. Why are we not open to feedback? Self. Too much of self in that vessel. that block the flow of God's grace. If you're a business entrepreneur, you may be 100 years in the business. Be open to feedback. Because we are emerging from COVID. We cannot run business the way we run before. It has to be something innovative, new. Be open to feedback. And how many of us know you? And those who are not open to feedback, you're going back to the law. Galatians chapter 3 tells us, those who are of the work of the law are under a curse. How are you going to get the blessing? So God is looking for empty vessels. But God also wants us to look for empty vessels. You look at the people of the world today, they on the outside maybe look great. They're rich and they're famous. They have lots of tons of money and a private yacht. But deep down, empty, hungry. How many of us know, like what Charles Spurgeon say, emptiness is eligibility. The lack of natural goodness proves your need of God's grace. And that need is your capacity to receive. So be empty vessels and look for empty vessels. Watch this.
Look outside your window and there's a whole world outside your window. Some people in the world may be like you, surrounded by loving friends and family, but some may not be like you. They may be struggling to get food. They may be going through some hurt and rejection. Their family may be fighting all the time. Some may feel so alone they can't talk to other people. Well, look outside your window and reach out to them. Show them how much God loves and cares for them. You don't have to go out physically, but you can go to them virtually. Send them a message, talk to them online, SMS, be a friend to them. They may just need someone who can listen to them. As you listen to the song, pay attention to the lyrics.
Well, if you want to experience miracle, want a powerful ingredient, be in an empty vessel. Look for empty. Pastor, but I'm not good. I'm not popular. Look at Matthew. He was not popular. He was a bad reputation, corrupted business, tax collector. But you know what? He has a house. He has good food, rich wine. He has all those corrupted friends. He brought all of them in, saved all of them. He became a gospel writer. How many members God can use even imperfect, empty vessels?